Warning: this content contains explicit material intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
I have never been a fan of soft plastics. You might wonder why. Well, these fuckers need to be rigged first before you can actually use them. And it takes a while before you figure out what kind of setup you want. And when you finally found out how you want that specific setup, you still need to fucking rig them, which sometimes can be hard as fossilized tyrannosaur turds. Look at this one for example. This here is the Shadteez paddle tail from Westin. Look how flimsy and flexible it is. The whole thing is so flexible, which can make rigging this flappy fucker a tall order. I always had issues rigging soft plastics. The more flexible they are, the harder it is for me to build a good functional hook setup. To me, rigging a soft plastic like this one is just as hard as rigging my flaccid cock while wearing boxing gloves. Oh, and a blindfold on. Not that I ever tried that though, but you get the idea. Oh, and if you have a visual in mind right now, try to get that image out of your mind for the rest of the fucking day. You're welcome. The WestinShadteez are incredibly popular in European countries. They prove their point many times and catches northern pike like crazy. They come in a variety of fun colors to choose from, and when rigged correctly, they are very fun to fish with. Well, according to many fishermen in the European countries it is. The charm in soft plastic paddle tails is that they mimic a fluent swimming motion perfectly due to their flexibility and flappiness. I'm wondering, are they flappy enough? I'm going to fish with a friend anyway, so let's find out.
Flip, 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 flip.
Okay, these are flappy for sure. These Shadteez soft plastic paddle tails look promising, but wait. Yeah, I have to let it compete to another soft plastic paddle tail. Something more realistic than a Shadteez. I have the perfect candidate for that. I wanted something more realistic, and look at this bulky motherfucker. Let me introduce you to Ricky the Roach. Well, this is Ricky. This paddle tail soft bait resembles a roach very well. And it looks beautiful as it looks promising. They come in all kinds of sizes and a variety of colors to choose from. When I saw these at the very first time, I immediately felt confidence. Only one thing bothered me though. Why in the fucking world do you want to name your lure Ricky? Were those people at Westin out of their fucking minds? They put all their best effort in knowledge and inspiration in this lure and left the creative marketing part in the hands of a retarded Scandinavian shit sucker? Ricky the Roach. My god, what marketing is that? Anyway, Ricky the Roach looks and feels like an awesome lure. It's a bit more bulky and it's somewhat awkward, but there is room to be creative in the rigging process. So this is going to be the Shadteez's opponent in this video. In this matchup, I'm going to use softbait lures and they're both from Westin. This is a clash between two Scandinavian softbait titans. Which one is worth its money? Or does one of them suck ass? Who knows? This is Ricky the Roach versus the Shadteez. Let's see the action from both of these softbaits first. I assume they both have different actions since one of them is short, bulky and fat, while the other is slender as a tall hooker addicted to crack. Let's start with the Shadteez. Look at the flanking roll it has. And I have to admit, I am impressed. The scoop let the tail wiggle with the slightest movement as well. What if I made the Shadteez a line through? How would it react? Well, let's say that doesn't make much of a difference. I would recommend a different rig though. Building a line through setup in the Shadteez is kind of hard since the softbait has a slender posture. It's so tight, it's like squeezing your dick in a donut without breaking it. What about Ricky? A 10-gram screw-in setup combined with a size 10 Kamagotsu treble hook seems to be working quite well. The lure is rolling and flanking a bit less than its slender opponent, but what did you expect? Ricky is a lot more bulky. The paddle wiggles perfectly and so far I have no complaints. Ricky has a lot more room for a line through setup. I added 5 grams in the head and another 5 gram weight in the front. Another size 10 Kamagotsu treble hook and look at the thing go. It swims perfectly and it flanks just fine. Well, both lures are appealing and the action from both of them are promising. I honestly cannot say which one of them I like the best so far, so consider this as a tie game. I have to say though, the Shadteez has more limitations if it comes to the rigging process, but it compensates in its sexy flanking action. It wiggles perfectly when rigged the right way. Ricky, however, has more rigging options, but the flank is somewhat less. Anyway, soft baits are usually not very durable and I fish for northern pike. Pike have teeth, and they can bite hard. What about the durability? Most of the time when I use soft baits, I know they won't survive too many bites, but with these, I honestly do not know what to expect. It's like sticking your dick in a glory hole without knowing what's on the other side. Does that metaphor make any sense to you? Oh well, who cares? Let's fish these rubber flappy fuckers and let's see how they hold up. Ooh, Ricky the Roach is going to get it. I cast near this bridge a couple of times until this snot rocket attacked Ricky. And while it did, it also gave Ricky one really big fuck you. I didn't hook the bastard, that pike scared the living shit out of me. And look at this, look at this! This lure is brand new. Without the pedal, this lure is useless. Now it's like a turd without the smell. It's not complete anymore, and the smell is the essence of a big juicy turd. Okay, that's disgusting, I'm sorry. Of course I tried the same color Chattis as well, but that pike never showed his ugly mug again. Don't worry, I'll come back for this toothy slime stick later. This time, on a different location, I tried the Chattis. A couple of casts near the tunnel and I felt a hard bump on the lure. It kinda felt weird. Like the pike missed its target. I had no fucking clue what just happened, but I got the bastard anyway. Oh, and did I call the Shadteez flimsy at first? Well, I take that back for now. Not even one rip in the rubber. It's time for Ricky the Roach again. I went for a big pond since you're able to find larger pike in there. After a couple of casts I felt a bump. I assumed it was a log or some other crap on the bottom, but no. A tiny little toothpick with teeth took the lure as one hell of a meal. Look at this. Ricky's not much smaller than his tiny snot rocket. Man, talk about ambitious. You may laugh, I don't care. But you have to give this little fella some credit. That's one little furious fucker. I know the fall turns into winter very soon. And fish are getting slower than the sloth can shit out of his poop hole. So I fish both of the soft baits as slow as I can. I don't know what happened lately, but it seems only the smaller ones are willing to bite. Finding the really big pike seems to be the same as finding a needle in a haystack. Or more like finding a turd in a mudslide. Anyway, both soft baits are performing as expected. Both are appealing in their action. Now I just have to find the bigger pike. It's a good thing I have the deeper pro. Oh yeah, technology, man. This awesome thing is like a Pokemon ball. It doesn't catch shit, but this piece of technology will provide you all the information you need. The depth of the water, water temperature, bottom structure, and where fish are located. Just cast this fucker into the water and reel it in slowly. All the information will be sent to your phone through a Wi-Fi connection faster than a rabbit can fuck. Call it cheating, I don't give a tiny rat's ass. I used the Deeper Pro in this small urban pond, and there's supposed to be something larger in the corner over there. Let's see if I can catch that fish with Ricky the Roach. And wham! I got the bastard. I have to say that deeper ball thing works like a charm. Okay, it's not a 3-footer, but it's average. Whatever you think, it's still a result. Ricky's action is great. It performs... Wait, what? What? Are you fucking kidding me? Again? Man, I was hoping I could verbally destroy one of these softbaits, but I have to announce that I'm not going to. Both of them were actually fun to fish with. It will be extremely difficult to choose which one of them is the best, but, you know, I kinda have to, so let's start with the Shadteez first. The Chattis's performance is as gorgeous as Margot Robbie in slutty lingerie.
I have an entire line of lingerie.
Oh yeah. The Shadteez is very flexible and the scoop wiggles with the slightest movement. The flanking action is just insane. This lure might sound perfect, but don't you worry. I have found you some flaws. The Chattis's flexibility is also a curse. That big ass scoop it has, it gets easily tangled in the treble hooks. And I might be bitching about it, but that's a real pet peeve of mine. And of course you can use a simple jig head. That will solve the problem, but the action of the Shadteez won't be the same. It's like buying your wife a vibrator when your sex life is at stake. She might be happy at first, but nothing beats the real deal. So fuck that jig head and stick to a good old-fashioned rig. Also, rigging this flappy fucker can be a bitch. But once you manage that, man, it's one hell of a lure to fish with. The Shadteez is definitely not perfect, but it's a good investment if you like to use soft baits. The action is appealing and the Shadteez does what it needs to do. They're not expensive, but they are also not special. Let's just say they are average in my opinion. They come in a variety of sizes and colors. And in this video I used the 16cm 6-inch version and I rigged it in two different ways. A line through rig and a classic screw-in jig. Both rigs are just fine. There are more rigging options, but I stuck to the options I like the best. And overall, I give the Shadteez a 6 out of 10. Now for Ricky the Roach. If this whole lunacy was a beauty contest, Ricky the Roach would be the winner for sure. But a more beautiful lure doesn't necessarily mean it's a better product. Looks can be deceiving, and Ricky might be big and bulky, like Dwayne the fucking Rock Johnson compared to the Shadteez, which kinda looks like Victoria Beckham on crack. Ricky the Roach is still very flimsy near the scoop. Ricky's action is very cool, but the flanking is nothing to write home about. It wobbles like someone has shit his pants and we're walking around with anus gravy caked in their butt crack. Nevertheless, Ricky has more rigging options, has a more diverse color scheme and comes in different sizes. I had more bites with Ricky than I had with the Shadteez. And normally I'm extremely skeptic about the looks of a lure, but this time I have to admit that Ricky gave me more fishing fun than I had with the Shadteez. The rigging process was easy and this softbait performed exactly as expected. In this video I used the 15cm or the 5.9-inch version and rigged them exactly like I rigged the Shadteez. Ricky is also not perfect. Durability is really one thing that seriously affects the score. I was also hoping for a slightly more flanking action, but overall, Ricky scores a 6.5 out of 10. So that's not bad. Well, enough of these soft baits for now. I hope you made it through the end of the video. Next time I'll be back for a brand new matchup. If you have suggestions about which lures I should burn to hell, or maybe which lures are actually good, or if you just want to leave a comment, use the comment section below, but keep it decent, keep it respectful. After all, this whole lure comparison horse shit is based on a personal opinion. See you next time.